Good morning. Hopefully you are getting this and that you can actually hear what I am saying. I'm just going to sort of fire through a very couple of quick things. As you'll have noticed, I'm not there. I'm not back. I'm still waiting for the consultant to get back to me. I think it may well be Monday before I can get back. I'm not sure what you are seeing, so I'm just going to come out of studio mode there. That's fine. I've got a couple of things I wanted to say. Thank you to Robin, who has already submitted her answers to those first questions. I've been through them, made notes, and they are available for you on Edmodo. Same goes for everybody. Please, if you can get these to me as quickly as possible. I have got peace and quiet during the day, so I can dictate lots of answers. And I will get them back to you very, very quickly. A couple of points which came out of what Robin had done. I've posted them. I've posted one of them certainly to the blog, and that's about always making sure if you're making a mention of a film that you include the director, the country of origin, and the year that it was first released. If you are not sure where to get that information, well, actually, you should be, because you will be the director, or somebody will be the director, and the country of origin will be the United Kingdom or Scotland if you prefer, and the year of release will be obviously 2017. So that's straightforward if you're talking about your own one. But if you're talking about an example from somebody else's that you're using for inspiration, for example, if you mention Blade Runner, then the year would you should have open brackets director Ridley Scott, comma USA, which is the country of origin, comma, and 1982, close brackets. The reason you put the year is that if a film is re-released, for example, 1982 was the original studio release of Blade Runner, but the final cut was released 25 years later, 1997. No, 15 years later. It's the year that the edition, the version of the film that you're referring to was released. That's embarrassing. I can't remember Blade Runner. Right, I'm going to try a couple of things here. I've got a couple of graphics sorted out that I'm going to try and add here, which are to do with how you approach this. And so if you will excuse me while I just do this here. Aha, no, they are here. Good. So the first image I'm going to pull up is this one, and this is about cause and effect. So it's really important. What the SQA are looking for you to do is to show cause and effect. This means that as you discover things, so you find out about the CAP and the Code of Practice from the ASA, and it's certainly that's why I'll link to the blog. And by the way, can I just say well done, because that's one of the most visited pages on the blog this week, so you're obviously working away great. But if you download the full code, and I would do a couple of things. One, I would do a search through the document. If it's a PDF, so if you're on a Mac, it's Control F or Command F. If you're on a PC, it's Control F, and that pulls up the search, which saves you having to read through the whole document because it's over 110 pages. And search for the word poster. Now you'll find a number of references to it in the poster industry, so these are things you may want to take account of and maybe even mention in passing. But the other page you want to look at a bit more closely is page 11 and page 12, obviously, because this outlines the actual code itself, and this is a bit where it says quite clearly, Rule 1.1, marketing communications, which is what a poster is, it's a marketing communication, should be legal, decent, honest, and truthful. You have heard me mention that in class, I know that, and I would think that you all know this by now. So that's certainly the first thing that you want to be having a look at. But when you find something out, so that it has to be legal, decent, honest, and truthful, this gives you a cause. So when you create your poster, you must take account of this. So there's a cause, a causal effect. So in finding this out, this is going to have a causal impact on you. This is going to cause you to do something. And I'm just going to remove that image, and I'm going to add the next one. This then leads to an effect, and the effect is what you then do as a result of the cause. So for example, you will find that there is, you have to not be offensive, or that you are not going to use gratuitous nudity or whatever it may be, because these things would contravene the code. And as you will realize if you have a wee look through the document for references to poster, that can have very serious implications. So you do not want to be doing anything which is going to offend. Now this does also, and I've deliberately picked the Deadpool poster here because of another poster I found, is remember that the cause and effect. So the cause there is that you're trying to show it as being an action film. So you've got the red suit, you've got the Deadpool logo image on the belt buckle, and you've got the gun. So we know that it's violence. However, Deadpool are not stupid, and they also try to go for the biggest market possible. So they also just created this, which I hadn't seen before, and I just think is absolutely fantastic. And think of the genre implications for this particular poster. This makes the Deadpool look like a romance. You've got the sort of like the soft golden light. You've got the names. Look at the font. It's a serifed font, so it looks very old-fashioned. True love never dies. Valentine's Day. Of course, that's a pun. If you know who Deadpool is, you know that's a pun. But it's a nice little bit of poster design to make it look as though it's not the genre that it is. Now, that was a conscious decision by somebody. They have gone, right, what we're trying to do? We're trying to get more people to see the film. We're trying to get people to come in and see it. Because people like images of romance, people like to see a couple, they like to see, happy faces. Think of the 50 Shades posters if you want a contrast, which is not about love. And so with this Deadpool poster, they have targeted it specifically for Valentine's Day, and our expectations are going to be changed. If you go and see Deadpool, you're going to realize that this poster has got absolutely nothing to do with the action of the film. It's anything but a lovely romance. But the effect of this poster and the effect of the decision, so the cause was we want to try and market this film in a slightly different way. And the effect of that is we will make the poster look as though it's a traditional romantic story. So from that point of view, very successful poster, very clever poster, and of course the fact that it's a joke because it's nothing like the actual film also ties into the fact that the film is a comedy. So there we go. That's what I would be thinking about with regards to cause and effect there. Now, one other thing that I did want to just mention just now. I don't know whether it was whether you are clear enough on this, but remember that what you are writing about is the poster. Okay, it is taken for granted that you have completed your film, or your film is as near as completed as damn it. What the poster, which is the media that you are creating, the product you're making is a poster. So what you have to remember is that the decisions you're making now are about selling the poster. These are based on the assumption that the film has been completed. We have all seen teaser trailers. In fact, there's a teaser trailer, film trailer, but also posters now coming up for Star Wars Episode 8. The film is not finished. The film is not ready to be screened. The film is not ready to be shown. But the marketing campaign, which the posters are part of, is now racking up. It's now getting into action. As a result of that, you're going to start seeing more and more posters for the film, even although the film is not finished. That's the same as your situation. You are creating posters for a film which, if it isn't finished now, would be finished by the time you say it's going to be released. So if you target your release date as being October, Halloween, I can't remember the date of Halloween, 30th of October. If you're saying that your release date's Halloween, then your film will be finished for then. Doesn't stop you doing posters now saying, something is coming, here comes Halloween, whatever you want to say on your poster. And obviously the genre for that would be a horror or something similar. So, excuse me, I know that the coughs are loud. My apologies. So the key thing here is that and you're in pre-production. This is essential. This is something that You know, I've noticed a couple of people, you're already talking as though you finish your poster. This is pre-production. This is what are you planning to do? It's not what you have done, it's not what you are doing, it's what are you planning to do. So what are you planning to do? If I use that Deadpool example, I am planning to market this film as a romance. So what you then do is, right, so that's my decision. How do I show that? And a quick word about narrative. Look very closely at that book. You know the Book of the Terms or on the Quizster. Um, if I take Todorov, um, so you've got Hero, Agent of Change, Disruption, Quest, and then the resolution. Sorry, I'm trying to think. I've got an image of this. Um, so give me 2 seconds. Let me just have a wee look. Todorov. Um, Not that one. Right, hang on. Images. I do have. Right. Uh, so the thing about Todorov is that Todorov um, is a full narrative for a film. So it doesn't. How do you show that in a poster? And that's the key question that you need to consider. And it's not as difficult as it might first appear, simply because the fact that it's Todorov suggests that there are a number of things that you could include in that. You could, um, let's see if I can just chuck this in. Yeah, here we go. That's what I was looking for. Um, oh, I'm moving me. Oh, I didn't know I could move me. Um, so you have here A is the hero, B is the agent of change, C is the disruption, D is the quest to solve this problem, and then E is the resolution where the disruption is solved. You know this. This is Todorov. This is classic Hollywood narrative. We talked about this. So how could you show that on a poster? Well, say for example, you have a hero who is you know a gorgeous action hero like Deadpool. Um, his problem is that we'll not use the Deadpool story. In fact, no. Right. So you've got Chief Brody. Let's do my favourite Jaws. A, you've got Chief Brody. B, the agent of change is the shark. C, the problem is the shark's killing people. D is the quest, and this is the hunt to kill the shark. E is the shark surprise at the end. Sorry, spoiler alert. So how could you show that in a poster? Well, if you think about it, you could show A. You could show the hero. Um, and this would be a picture perhaps of Chief Brody looking very powerful, maybe camera looking up, whatever it is. These are decisions you could make with the logo and the film studio and things like this. You could show the shark, and you probably already know where I'm going with this. So you could have a picture of the shark, and let's be honest, sharks' mouths are scary, so that might entice people in. You could have the sea, you could have the shark is eating people. And ta-da, that's what is actually shown in the poster. It shows the girl swimming in top of the water. You've got the shark's mouth coming up towards it. So that poster actually shows us sea. It shows us the disruption. D, the quest would be a poster which had maybe Quint and Chief Brody and Hooper on the boat, maybe chasing the shark. You could maybe have the barrels you could have, and I suspect if you search, you might find posters for that. The one bit you probably won't show in a poster is E. Now, the reason I'm saying that you want to go and have a wee look at the media handbook is that the terminology, you've got prioritic code, you've got hermeneutic code, you've got action code. You need to know these because these are the words that you would use. So you might say, I want to show Chief Brody in the poster, I'm going to use action code. So, and remember, action code is when you see somebody's hand going for a gun, then the expectation is we fill in the rest of the picture that somebody's going to pull the gun and is going to shoot it. So that would be how you might apply the codes. The cause, you're trying to show that Chief Brody is a man of action. What you then do is you use the action code to show him pointing his gun at the shark in the water, which is a still from the film. And that, if you put that in a poster with Jaws, you've got the man with a gun, suggests action, suggests something happening. And if you doubt that, have a wee look at the Romeo and Juliet posters that are in my room, or certainly in the wee, the entrance hallway to my room. Look at the guns. Look at the sort of like the sense of action and adventure that's going on there, and that's action code at work for you. Now you're going to get bonus points if you actually take the time to look at that guidebook and get the actual terms. Hermeneutic code, prioritic code, etc., etc. Get these and start using them. Can I also suggest for those that haven't started, and I know that's rather a lot of you, that Quizster link I gave you to learn the terminology is essential. You don't have to do it as a quiz. It is a revision aid. You can flick through the cards, you can self-test, you can go through them. It will take you through 130 terms that you really do need to be so familiar with, or at least as familiar as you can possibly make it. And so that is your homework. Please to start using that. What I want to see is more and more of you start uploading information to Edmodo, is I want to see you using these terms. It's the one thing that almost everybody in the class did poorly in the prelim. It's the one thing where you get away with it in the prelim to an extent because I was being very, very nice to you. We will not be as nice when we are marking for the SQA. So hopefully, I've just realised all you're looking at is an image of Todorov. Probably better compared to me. So hopefully, that's given you enough to be thinking about. Hopefully this has been a bit louder and a bit clearer, and hopefully as well I am going to be back with you very, very shortly. I'm stuck here until I get the go-ahead from the consultant at PRI, who I am waiting to phone me back. So if you've got any questions, you pop them up on the blog, you fire them in an Edmodo, and please, please, please don't faff about. I'd rather see a rubbish attempt at answering those questions that I posted the other day than no attempt. With a rubbish attempt, I can point you in the right direction. Okay, any questions, folks? Leave them as comments here. Hopefully that's been of use to you, and the bad news is I think it's available for you to review or to go through again. So I'll stop speaking. I'll let you get on with it. I bet you probably prefer me doing this. Take care. We'll speak to you soon. Cheers. And now I've got to try and work out how to do this again. Glasses are needed. Siri. Siri. Oh, left hand. Yes, I want